Evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jimmy James. You're watching Catch It Live first. We should have had Hibs playing Aberdeen. But unfortunately, the stream is too intermittent. It's a little bit of an iffy picture. So rather than have a bitty stream and not do that match justice, I've decided we will do Sunderland and West Bromwich Albion live in the English Championship. Then we'll also have all the goals as they go in from around the UK and Europe for you. And if you're a Sheffield United fan, you've had a dream start because you're now winning 2-0, 26 minutes gone. And apart from that, it's pretty slim pickings for goals elsewhere. An early lead for Arsenal in the Champions League, beating Sporting by 1-0 currently. Empire Maker is in the chat. He says, "Come on, Rovers, come on, Jimmy. The Champions League match is kicked off 10 minutes ago. We've been doing our horse racing results, mate, and we're a little bit late tonight. Then trying to sort the stream out for Hibs and Aberdeen just put us back a little bit. Would have liked to have done that match, but not to be." He says, "Should have done Tranmere and Wimbledon." Mate, every time I do Tranmere, there's never any goals. You'll be hoping for a result tonight, mate, won't you? After weekend's debacle. Quickly go through the teams, Sunderland and West Brom, in 1 second. West Brom are coming in down the right-hand side here. Yeah, they've played it back and kept possession, all slowed down. If you just watch the Tranmere match, that's alright if you're a Tranmere fan. But if you're not, they're not the most exciting of football teams to watch. You've got one exciting player, and you know who he is. And if they're not careful, they're going to lose him in the January transfer window. Talking about Amari Patrick, of course. He is a good player, I've got to say. Do enjoy watching him. And, mate, you missed a good game last night. Chance here for West Brom. Falls to number 9. Who's number 9? Marger. He was just falling over just outside the 6-yard box there as he tried swinging his right leg at it and didn't make a good contact. It just went to the left of Patterson's post. Decent chance that though for West Brom. Still 0-0, 13 and a half minutes gone. Mate, what a good pace. What a good game that was last night. My face watching it was like, how is this second division football? Excuse me, it was a proper good game. Port Vale and Crewe Alexandra. Empire Maker says, "Someone from my secondary school supported Wimbledon." Empire Maker says, "Man City should be winning." Having a bit of a tough time, aren't they, City, at the minute? But, I mean, every team goes through that, don't they? That kind of run, I'm sure they'll bounce back. They are missing Rodri, though, that is for sure. So, yeah, go through the team lineups quickly. Saying quickly, I've got a new setup here now, and it's just taking me a little bit of time finding out where everything is again. It's much better, but it's different, if that makes sense. Right. You can now keep an eye on work as well. West Bromwich Albion, Palmer in goal. Fellows, Holgate, Hagum and Styles, that's your back four. You've got Johnson, Mullenby, Dearkite and Mowat. And up front, Madger and Grant. Sunderland go with Patterson in goal, Hume, Ballard, Meffam and Onion, Neil, Rigg, Watson, Bellingham, Roberts and Isidore. West Brom kicking from right to left, playing in yellow tops, blue shorts. You know what colours Sunderland are playing in, don't you? Red and white striped tops, the same as Athletic Bilbao. Is it Bilbao or Madrid? I always forget. The Sunderland fans, wasn't it, who set the team up in northern Spain? Was it Atletico Bilbao or Madrid? I can't remember. I'm going to go with Bilbao. Empire Maker, 5 prems in a row. 5 losses in a row. You reckon? You reckon? I'm just having a quick catch up of what's been going on. Up in Scotland, you wouldn't you know it, by the way, as soon as I decided I had to make the switch, so we'll watch Sunderland and West Brom, the stream for Hibs and Aberdeen cleaned itself up and it's a perfect picture, but obviously it's too late. You know, at some point you're going to make a decision. Man City couldn't sell out, unlike most of the fans. Is that what you're trying to say? Or are you talking about the stadium for tonight? Still 0-0 anyway against Feyenoord. Mate, I was thinking about you on Saturday. Not in that way. Just hoping that you got all right after your train journey. Who's number 14 for West Brom? Lysaka Hegem. He looks, just the build of him and the way he's got his socks rolled down. He looks like a bit of a, you'd see as someone you'd see on a Sunday league, you know. Empire makes a stadium attendance. Yeah, it's man, your times are getting hard, mate, aren't they? Times are getting hard. And obviously if you're not playing well, you know what football fans are like. They're not all die-hard fans, are they? I'm just going to go through these teams shortly. I have an alert on my laptop from all the games around Europe and the UK and that, and when there's a goal I get a ping. You might hear it. It's like a cheer, and for some reason it's not happening, so I'm not getting alerted when there's a goal going in. There's a free kick here on the left hand side for Sunderland. It's put into the penalty area, headed clear by West Brom. All irrelevant because assistant's got his flag up on this near side for offside. Yeah, Sunderland kicking from left to right. How many was offside there? 3 of them offside. But yeah, he doesn't look like a footballer to me, I've got to say. That Hegem might be a good player. I don't know him, but I don't know of him. Empire Maker says it's now called the Empty Had. Oh, it's a bit harsh, mate. It's true though, isn't it? It's true though. Oh, it's not a good night if you're a Plymouth Argyle fan either. Currently 2-0 down. We'll go through the championship games first. In fact, we can go through. You buy one, you get one free. You buy one, you get one free. When you go to Man City, it's going to be a tough few games for him, isn't it? Pep's come out on the defensive, hasn't he? Saying age isn't an issue. I don't know though. Last year, De Bruyne didn't look right all year. I know he's saying he's injured now, isn't he? He's been playing through an injury where he can't shoot because of the pain. And at half time, we'll go through the sports news as well. There's been a little bit about today, so Let's run through these championship scores quickly. The 35 minutes gone. Burnley 0, Coventry 0. Hull 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Norwich 2, Plymouth Argyle 0. Sheffield United 2, Oxford United 0. Stoke 0, Preston 0. Watford 0, Bristol City 0. And Sunderland 0, West Brom 0, which is the one we've got our commentary on. Yeah, if you, I don't know if you saw that goal that was scored last night, mate, from Port Vale. Absolutely fantastic. I said in my commentary, it was last time I saw a goal like that, it was Paul Scholes hitting it for United. Sunderland coming down the left-hand side there. Holgate goes across, puts it behind, it'll be a corner to Sunderland down that left-hand side. Just looking at the standings in the Championship now, they could do with a win here, Sunderland, because Sheffield United are winning. West Brom are hanging on in the final playoff spot currently, on level points with Watford, but they've got a six goal better goal difference. So it's a pretty important game this for Sunderland and for West Brom. There's just been a goal. Hull 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. West Brom are breaking here down the right hand side. It's Marger out to the right hand side, puts a cross into the box, easy for Patterson. Awful cross that. Who was that? Was it Johnston? It might well have been. It was a poor cross, put it that way. Empire Maker says, De Bruyne get a fat paycheck in Saudi. May well do. I think he'd like another year at City, and then go for the money. You know, I was hearing today that Ronaldo's or was it yesterday? Ronaldo's talking about moving away from. Is it Al Ittihad or somewhere? Wherever he is, anyway, he's talking about maybe moving on. And when Mourinho was asked if he was going to Turkey, he wasn't very complimentary, was he? There was quite a few bleeps that was coming out over the Sky Sports News. He wasn't overly complimentary, like I said. Let's quickly go through the League One scores currently. Barnsley 1, Reading 0. Bristol Rovers 0, Blackpool 1. Burton 0, Charlton 0. Cambridge United 0, Bolton Wanderers 0. Exeter 0, Birmingham 1. Leyton Orient 0, Huddersfield 1. Wigan 2, Northampton 0. Wrexham 0, Lincoln 0. Wickham 0, Mansfield 0. Not a lot of goals about. And in League 2 it is, oh mate, what's gone on there? Tranmere 0, AFC Wimbledon 1. And Walsall 0, Bromley 0. Sunderland edge of the box there. Shot comes in, it's blocked. And now West Brom are trying to bring it away. That'll be a free kick, take all the pressure off. And it was good play by Grant there for West Brom. Forward back doing his defensive duties. Champions League phase, currently Barcelona 1, Brest 0. Bayer Leverkusen 2, Salzburg 0. Bayern Munich 0, PSG 0. Inter 0, RB Leipzig 0. Manchester City 0, Feyenoord 0. Sporting 0, Arsenal 2. Young Boys 1, Atalanta 1. In the Scottish Premiership, it's still Hibs 0, Aberdeen 0. Hibs are having an awful season, and I just had a feeling after Aberdeen not getting the result against St Mirren. St Mirren went down to 10 men as well on the weekend, and Aberdeen still lost 2-1. Put some 3 points behind Celtic now. And I just had a feeling, being away, maybe a little bit low on confidence. Aberdeen, Hibs, nothing to lose. It could have been a cracking game, that, which is why I wanted to watch it, but wasn't meant to be. I'll do the National League in 1 second. Empire Maker said, Al Nasser, yeah, thanks for that, mate. You like a little stattle, aren't you? You're, and I know it's not Google because you reply to them too quick sometimes. You know your football stats. Empire Maker says, I want Ronaldo to join Sporting Club in Portugal. Started out there, didn't he? Started out there. National League, Altrincham 3, York City 0, Braintree 0, Maidenhead 2, Dagenham and Redbridge 0, Aldershot 0, Gateshead 0, Rochdale 0, Hartlepool 0, AFC Fylde 0. Blimey. Oldham 2, Boston United 0, Sutton 1, Solihull Moors 0, Woking 0, Southend 0. National League North, Alfreton 0, South Shields 0, Chester 1, Oxford City 0, Curzon Ashton 1, Southport 0, Darlington 0, Scunthorpe 0, Barnsley 0, Chorley 0, Kingsley 1, Kidderminster 0, Leamington 0, Needham Market 0, Marine 0, Spennymoor 1, Peterborough Sports 0, Radcliffe 0, Rushall 0, Brackley Town 1, Scarborough 0, Warrington 0. Where's all the goals? There's hardly any goals going in tonight. I don't know what's going on. I think what we'll do with all these games, we'll go through them at full time. There's just too many. There's been another goal. Chester 2, Oxford City 0. Few more goals going in now. Oh my word. And just what I was saying about this game up in Scotland for Aberdeen being a potential banana skin, they've gone behind against Hibs. 41 minutes gone. Hibernian 1, Aberdeen 0. And it's Inter 1, RB Leipzig 0. I can't understand why I'm not getting a ping or the cheer when need to go into settings there. Need to do something because that's no good. Come on. Sunderland are in down the right hand side here into the penalty area. Cross comes in. Mollenby has blocked it. It's gone behind. O'Neill has appealed for a handball. It's not a handball though. It will be a corner, however, to Sunderland down that right hand side. Empire Maker says Chester Stadium is in England and Wales. Yeah. Empire Maker. Yeah, RB Leipzig are losing. That's the Red Bull. You don't like that Red Bull, do you? It's not a fan of the old Red Bull using the money. That's an awful corner from the right hand side. It's just over everybody and gone out for a goal kick. Not sure what happened here in the penalty area. There was a little bit of afters. Who's number 20? It was Mowat stood up and then it was Miffin run past him from the corner, just pushed him down a little bit. He grabbed hold of his shirt and I won't want to mess with either of them two, to be honest. Half an hour gone almost, still Sunderland 0, West Brom 0. And where on earth is my... Empire Maker says it goes against German football beliefs. When you say it goes, are you talking about money spoiling the game? You know, the Red Bull money, or what do you mean? Can you expand on that comment, mate? I said Mowat's just... Is it Mowat who's just gone down? No, number 22. Johnson, he's just gone down for West Brom, saying he got an elbow in the face. A little bit of nastiness. Just creeping in. I'm just in the process of trying to get this sorted. It's doing me head in because I need the alert when a goal's gone in. And it's not having it. Empire Maker says it goes against the rules of German football beliefs. The 50-1 rule. A football club has to be owned by at least 50% the fans. In theory, mate, I would agree with you, but in reality, you're just going to get left behind if that's the case, unless every country does it, which they're not going to do. Poor clearance there by Sunderland. Chance here for West Brom, edge of the box. It's played wide out to the right-hand side. All too slow now. Sunderland have got back in numbers and that's been cleared. One-on-one at the back here now for Sunderland with Isidore, I think it is, number 18. He needed some support. Got some support, but I think it was Rig. Put a shot in, it was blocked straight away. Danger gone. Empire Make says RB Leipzig has found a way around it by making it only RB workers. But my counter, not argument, but counterpoint to that would be, if Leipzig didn't have the RB can have a membership. If RB didn't put any funds into Leipzig, where would Leipzig be? Because I tell you what, mate, and this would test you. If, what I mean is test your disappointment in Red Bull getting the grips into Leipzig. What would you do if Red Bull came over to Tranmere and said, we've got so much money we can invest, the plan is to take us into the Championship and the Premier League, and is it not something that you'd want to entertain, or would you think, well, everybody else is doing it, money talks, we may as well join in and see where Tranmere can go? Empire makes sense. So if they speak against what Red Bull Leipzig, against Red Bull Leipzig, they'll lose their jobs or get fired. They will be in the third tier of German football. This is it, isn't it? What does... I mean, we've spoken about this before, haven't we, mate? Where years ago, if you were a millionaire, you could own a football club. Now a million. What is a million? It's not... It's 4 or 5 years' work, isn't it? Whereas before, if you were a millionaire, you could buy a football club, you were set for life. We used to do the pools when it was... you could win 75 grand, was it? I'm going back to the 70s. You won that, 75,000, you were set for life back then. You're not now. Definitely not. We'll go through the half times in a second in the Championship. Blimey, that was lucky. Ball came back there to Palmer in West Brom's goal. He got put under pressure and just managed to get that ball away. Sunderland on the attack though now, inside the penalty area. Shot comes in. Not sure who that is, but he's had a couple of goals now, and it looks like they've both been blocked up to now. Number 10. Ugh, awful shot. Roberts coming in from the right-hand side there. And high, wide and not very handsome. There's a player for Sunderland over on that left-hand side. And the way his body shape is, he looks like to me he's going to curl one in at some point. He's had 2 attempts so far, and they've both been blocked before they've really got more than 5 or 6 yards away. But you can tell with the keeper's movement, if they hadn't have been blocked, he was going to be scrambling. And he's had a couple of attempts already. I hope he doesn't stop shooting. Is it Watson? He looks like he's got a goal in him from outside the box to me. We'll see. He's here again. Left-hand side of the penalty area. Puts a cross in this time. It's blocked. It's a corner to Sunderland down that left-hand side. It is Watson, indeed, number 40. He looks like he's got a goal in it to me from outside the box. But we'll see. Empire Maker says, I would support a different club. They will change the club's philosophy. The fans won't get a say, but Tranmere believes the fans should get a say. Watson into the box again there. Oh my word, he's rifled it across the 6-yard box from just outside of it. Palmer stuck a leg out. It's another corner down that left-hand side for Sunderland. I just get a feeling this Palmer's going to score a goal before half-time. He's tormenting West Brom. Corner comes in, poor corner, cleared away by Mollenby, and that'll be a throw into Sunderland down that left-hand side, midway inside West Brom's half. Empire Maker, the fans won't get a say if at Tranmere if Red Bull were to come in. It is also a community club. If it was 50-50, why would the fans not have a say? Why do you say that? And I'm not being argumentative with you. I'm just trying to understand your thinking around it being a negative that somebody like Red Bull and their spending power, because it's not like the old days, is it, where you could just come in with a wad of cash, build a brand new stadium that costs $500 billion and go and spend $500 billion on players and you buy success. I know it doesn't work like that, but it's been done before. When you look at Jack Walker at Blackburn, if they hadn't have had Walker Steel money, no way Blackburn would have won that Premier League. Not that I'm bitter or anything like that. But yeah, if the fans own 50% of the club, then neither party holds all the power, do they? So, although one's got all the money, I suppose there's always that threat of we can walk away. Plymouth have just got a goal back. We'll go through these half-time scores quickly. Empire Maker says, where is Frankie? I'm not sure, mate. I'm not sure. She might be finishing up work. Oh, she's been busy working today. It's been one of them days. Been a good day, but she's been busy, I know that. Championship half-times. Burnley 0, Coventry 0. Hull 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Norwich 2, Plymouth Argyle 1. Sheffield United 2, Oxford United 0. Stoke 0, Preston 0. Watford 0, Bristol City 0. Sunderland 0, West Brom 0, as we know, we're watching that one. Excuse me. League 1, Barnsley 1, Reading 0, Bristol Rovers 0, Blackpool 1, Burton 0, Charlton 0, Cambridge United 0, Bolton 0, Exeter 0, Birmingham City 1, Leyton Orient 0, Huddersfield 1, Wigan 2, Northampton 0, Wrexham 0, Lincoln 0, Wickham 0, Mansfield Town 0. League 2, Tranmere 0, AFC Wimbledon 1, Walsall 1, Bromley 0. Champions League, a couple of games from earlier on actually. These are finished. Slovan Bratislava 2, AC Milan 3, Sparta Prague 0, Atletico Madrid 6. Currently, there's just been a goal for Young Boys. A goal for Atalanta against Young Boys. It's currently Young Boys 1, Atalanta 4. It's 40 minutes gone. It looks like the goals are in the Champions League tonight, mate. Bayern Munich have just taken the lead against PSG. So it's currently Barcelona 1, Brest 0, Bayer Leverkusen 3, Salzburg 0, Bayern Munich 1, PSG 0, Inter 1, RB Leipzig 0, Manchester City 0, Feyenoord 0, Sporting 0, Arsenal 2, and we've just heard Young Boys 1, Atalanta 4. Scottish Premiership. Half-time, Hibernian 1, Aberdeen 2. Capable of a comeback though, Aberdeen, aren't they? They're that kind of team. And they've done it a couple of times this season already, I think. Empire Maker says, The Red Bull Football Cooperation. The Red Bull Football Corporation has made it extremely difficult to get a membership, so there are very few fans with one. It must have to be... is it still 50-50 though? If Leipzig, if you're saying it's 50-50, you know, Red Bull can have 50%, the fans have 50% of the club, then all the power can't be with RB Leipzig. And as a bit of a defence mechanism for other teams, as well as Leipzig themselves, you've got the fair play. Well, I'm not 100% sure how that works, but like I say, you can't just suddenly go throwing money at a club like you used to years ago and try and buy that success. There's a penalty Manchester City have got against Feyenoord just before half-time. So if you look over to the left-hand side as you're looking at the screen there, Bellingham does look like his brother, doesn't he? Sunderland will be hoping he plays like him as well. Come on, get the penalty taken. Oh, we'll watch this Sunderland game while we're waiting for that penalty getting struck. Takes ages. Although there's not much happening here now. Sunderland are trying to come down that right-hand side. 43 minutes gone. It's still Sunderland 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. Jimmy, I have a question for you. I'll do that one in 1 second, mate. Now, I'm just waiting for this penalty to get updated. Yeah, if you look over to my left-hand side as you're looking at it now on the screen, we're just waiting to see if it's going to be... How long can it take? God blimey, come on. There we go. Make that 1-0 to Manchester City. Right, here we go. Empire Maker says... Jimmy... What... question for you. What would you do if Red Bull bought Wisła Krakow and changed everything about the club? It's a little bit of a... If you look at the history of Wisła Krakow, right, there's been times where there's been real upheaval, and there's been times where they've had money, and there's times where they've been skint and almost going out of business. And the guy who's got them now, he's only a young guy, but he's a bit of a tech entrepreneur kind of thing, so they need that little bit of stability. But it's a little bit different in Poland as well, because you've got two Watson again on the edge of the box. Cross comes in from the left hand side on the penalty spot. Ooh, West Brom get it clear. Good defending from West Brom. It's a little bit different in respect of you've got two teams in Poland in Krakow. So you've got Cracovia, who were and are they're still in the Ekstraklasse, you know, the top division, and they're the money club owned by they've got Jewish money, so they've always been quite wealthy. Wisła Krakow were owned wholly by the if my history's right, the communist police. So they set up their own club. West Brom are breaking here on Sunderland over on this left-hand side with Mowat. He's into the penalty area, trying to get to the byline, cuts back, chance to put a cross in, gets pushed over. He's not strong enough there, and that'll be a goal kick to Sunderland. Good defending. Yeah, so you had the equivalent of it would be the equivalent of Liverpool and Tranmere both being equal at the start, or Liverpool being there, Tranmere being set up for the people, by the people, through the communist police, but Liverpool having all the money and Tranmere sort of always struggling but doing well. A little bit like Athletic Bilbao over in Spain, you know, where they would only have players from certain regions and through political stuff and that, but they always punched above the weight, didn't they? They still do now. They relaxed them rules a little bit, but that's the same ethos with Krakow and Cracovia, which is why there's a massive hatred between the two clubs. Answering your question, what would I do if Red Bull wanted to bring money to the club? Firstly, I would say, bring it. Bring the money to the club, because the fans will always be. I mean, we're in the BetClick 1 now, but this were for home matches. Our stadium capacity is what, 33,000? I think 33,300 and something. Our stadium will hold, but we'll get. Even if you were playing, when we played Cheshire the other week, they're in the bottom 3. I think they were next to bottom or something. There's still 20, 22, 23,000 there. So you're always going to have that level of support. And it's not just because we support Wisła, and when I say we, I'm not talking about me in this, I'm talking about people who are actually in Krakow and surrounding areas. It's as much a statement as it is supporting a club, if that makes sense. And if the club changed to RB Krakow, so be it. So be it, because it won't change they wouldn't change the ethos of that club. And there's so much history with Krakow. When you look at the amount of times that they've won, you know, the equivalent of the Premier League and the Cup, and they've got a massive history there. So it's not like you're taking a small club. Let's say it was Wrexham. You know, I remember Wrexham when they weren't such a small club, you know, years and years ago. But then they went a little bit into the doldrums, didn't they? But, you know, if they were to buy someone like Wrexham, would it matter to the club? I don't think it would really. And you look at the way that the club's been bought out now by Hollywood stars, there's been a buzz about the place, there's been renewed optimism about Wrexham's future. If Wrexham didn't have that money come in, where would Wrexham Football Club be now? Where would Wrexham be in a geographical draw, you know, for business, for commerce? So there's a lot of positives around it as well. And I totally get what you mean when you say the Red Bull money coming in can change the DNA of a club. But I think that says more about the DNA of the club rather than it does about, you know, Red Bull's money. If the DNA is really fragile, well, let me put it to you another way. If before Bury went out of business, if Red Bull had gone to Bury and said, we'll buy the club for £1, we'll get rid of all your debts, we'll invest this, we'll do that, you can bet Bury and the Bury fans would have snatched Red Bull's hand off. 100%. Because look what the alternative is now. Yeah, they're back up and running. And I didn't even know they were back up and running until you said to me, oh yeah, they're back up and... I mean, they're in the Northern League. It's a long way back, isn't it, from there? It's a generation of football just to get back, if they can do it, back to where they were. That's a long time, mate. That's a lot of struggle. So, Yeah, good question, mate. Good question. I hope that answers what you answers your question, though, mate. Right, let's have a look around. It's half time, by the way. It's Sunderland 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. It's been a pretty even first half. My money is on Watson, putting one in from outside the box for Sunderland. Championship. Assume that the games are 0-0 unless I say Hull 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1, still Norwich 2. We've just had a goal. Burnley 1, Coventry 0. Norwich 2, Plymouth Argyle 1. Sheffield United 2, Oxford United 0. League 1, Barnsley 1, Reading 1. Reading have just equalised on 15 minutes. Bristol Rovers 0, Blackpool 1. Exeter 0, Birmingham City 1. Leyton Orient 0, Huddersfield 1. Wigan 2, Northampton 0. Tranmere 0, AFC Wimbledon 1. Walsall 1, Bromley 0. Champions League, all currently half-time now, so it's Barcelona 1, Brest 0. Bayer Leverkusen 3, Salzburg 0. Bayern Munich 1, PSG 0. Inter 1, RB Leipzig 0. Manchester City 1, Feyenoord 0. Sporting 0, Arsenal 3. Young Boys 1, Atalanta 4. Sporting have been doing well this season, haven't they? And I wonder if Amorim going to Man United has upset the apple cart a little bit there, and are the wheels going to come off the wagon now they've let him go? We'll find out. Second half's just started up in Scotland. Hibernian 1, Aberdeen 0. Aberdeen cannot afford to lose this game. They can't really afford a draw. You know what the Scottish League's like. Celtic are likely to go on a run of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games unbeaten, and the pressure's really on you then when you're 4 or 6 points behind. So Aberdeen really do need a win. And it's not looking likely so far. Empire Maker says they move to a stadium called the RB Arena. It wouldn't happen, so it's a difficult question. But if that had to be and it was bigger and it was better and it's the future, then yeah, go for it. But where Wisła Krakow's ground is anyway, it'd be easy to expand it and update it, modernise it. We've got a goal down at the bottom there. So let's see who that is. Yeah, Norwich 3, Plymouth Argyle 1. It's not even come through on Flashscore yet. Oh, it's just come through now, yeah. Not a good night for Wayne Rooney, or if you're a Plymouth Argyle fan. Although you know what they like they do like a comeback, don't they, Plymouth? Empire Maker says the old Leipzig club was doing fine. Maybe on the outside they were, but there must be a reason why they let Red Bull in. There's got to be a reason, mate. Even if it's just down to somebody wanting to make money. You know, they wouldn't just choose Leipzig for no reason, for the love of Leipzig. Empire Maker says, you were talking about the benefit it will have to the local area, but the area around Goodison Park is rough despite a big football club in it. A similar situation happens around Old Trafford. Mate, you couldn't be more wrong. You couldn't be more wrong. I used to go watching Manchester United from being a kid. And when you used to go around, and I used to rep around Old Trafford, and around Trafford Park and what have you. And let me tell you, when you used to go around Old Trafford and around Trafford Park and what have you, and let me tell you, when you used to go around Old Trafford and around Trafford Park and what have you, and let me tell you, when you used to go around Old Trafford and around Trafford Park and what have you, and let me tell you, when in the 70s and in the 80s, you went watching Manchester United, and all that was round there was old warehouses, substandard housing, and it wasn't, for the time, it was just the norm. However, as soon as United started winning and the Premier League came into existence, and suddenly that area around Salford Quays, it had so much money pumped into it. All these luxury houses and penthouses. You had the Lowry Centre going up. When they had, was it the Commonwealth Games, or where they had the swimming and the legacy from that, and it was all built around Manchester United. So it wasn't always like that. Let me tell you, it used to be. Trafford Park got bigger and bigger as well. And obviously you had Manchester United being sponsored by Sharp. Then you had the big Sharp offices built on Trafford Park, and there was just so much money ploughing into that area. It was unreal at the time. And that was from sort of the late 80s, and then early 90s was when it started. And by the end of the 90s, blimey, I took Frankie James watching Manchester United play Hull. And it must have been, can't remember how many years ago now. Can't remember how many years. I'm going to say, she'll probably remember, but it could have been. I got rid of my season ticket that I had. It would have been 14, I'm going to say 14 years, something like that, 14 years. And bear in mind, I used to know Trafford Park like the back of my hand, because I had my business up there. And so I knew it, all the little cut-throughs, I knew all the businesses, this, that and the other. And when I got my old man to drop us off, and I said to him coming out, I said, I'll meet you by the Lowry and what have you. When I came out, I couldn't find my way. Everything has changed so much, and that would have been in 10 years, 11 years, so much change. So it had that initial injection of money and wealth, and then just watching the goals for Sheffield United against Oxford. 2 good goals, good finish there as well. So you had that injection of money, but it changed beyond recognition, mate, honestly. You go a little bit further out. Empire Maker says, let me just... I'm missing what you're saying here, mate, because I'm yapping. Empire Maker says, it happened to RB Salzburg, RB Leipzig, and RB New York. It also might not be as beneficial as it seems, because the RB club in Brazil is Brasilia B. It is still slightly below par. What you're talking about around Manchester? Around Old Trafford? When I had my business trip in Manchester, I went to Old Trafford, and it is like Everton. Oh, mate, this is what a lot of the trouble is about with Manchester United at the minute. The troubles are not just on the pitch. Sheffield United 3, Oxford United 0. 58 minutes. Sheffield United had just popped another one in. Around Old Trafford, said Empire Maker. Yeah, so you had you used to have just vast areas of it was like wasteland, and big warehousing units, in the old red brick, and all of this money came in, because you've got to remember, down the road as well you've got Old Trafford, cricket ground as well, and then you had the dog track there over at White City. But if you've got this area around Old Trafford, and then this used to be Shitsville, it all became really quite wealthy. And then it started expanding, you know, around Salford Quays. And then they started putting all of these like penthouses up, and it started spreading out further and further, because people who wanted to live there but couldn't quite, either there was nothing affordable or nothing for sale, so they'd move a little bit farther out and then spend the money doing it up. And you had that regeneration around the stadium. And then Trafford Park, like I said, Sharp moved in, built their nice offices there. Then everybody else thinks, oh, they're nice, we should do that. And it self-fulfills and it self-fuels that injection. But you get to a certain point, and especially in Salford, you go down Langworthy Road and that, and the top of Langworthy Road is quite nice. You go down the bottom of Langworthy Road, and I'm not being disrespectful, but it's a bit of a shithole. And I know it, that's where I have my business, so I'm not... It's not like... And the reason I had it there was because the accommodation and the rents were a little bit cheaper. It's a business, you're not living there, but it's so there's them rougher areas around, and they're still there, so you're never going to completely get away from it. But what would it have been like if that injection of cash hadn't been put into the area? And the same with, there's a goal at the bottom there, an equaliser for Aberdeen, it looks like. Empire Make says, yep, around Old Trafford. The best thing to do is to rebuild Old Trafford and build it like a SoFi Stadium in the USA. Well, mate, honest to God, the first and foremost, they've got issues off the pitch, haven't they? The stadium is... It's well documented that the stadium is rusting, it's rotting. You know, they've got the leaky roof. We're just back underway as well, by the way. Sunderland kicking from right to left, still 0-0. That stadium is rotting, and that's because the investment from the Glazers, it's been used as a cash cow, the club. Let's be honest, that's what it's been used as. They've used it to leverage money to buy other ventures, and a lack of investment in the club, a lack of investment in the training facilities, because they had, you know, what they've got at Carrington is superb now. Is it, or it was superb? Is it dated now? Has it been updated? You know what? There's obviously issues off the pitch and on the pitch, and they came up with the quarterly figures, didn't they? The figures came out, I think it was today or yesterday, where they've only, in theory, they made an operating loss of 1 point something million, but because of the FX markets and the pound against the dollar, it worked out that they actually made a profit. And they're saying that they've got no issues with the, fair play rules and all of this. So, but they're not, they've gone from being the biggest club in the world, and some people say they still are, but they're certainly not the wealthiest, that's for sure. The goal at the top there for, it looks like Sporting have pulled one back against Arsenal. Empire Maker says, whilst the stadium is being rebuilt, Man United should play at Salford Stadium until the stadium is built. Couldn't do it, mate, could you? You couldn't do it. When you say Salford, are you talking about football Salford or rugby Salford? You'd have more chance of rugby Salford because it's got a bigger capacity and it's got better facilities. But, I mean, what are you getting at Old Trafford? 72,000, is it? 76,000? You'd lose a hell of a lot of money. Rugby, yeah. Yeah, I mean, what? It's tiny though, isn't it? All right, mate. Thanks for the chat. Good to catch up. Fingers crossed for you. Fingers crossed Tranmere will pull one back. Oh, it's not looking good though, mate. 0-2 now. Tranmere 0, AFC Wimbledon 2. Good catching up though, mate. You look after yourself. Regards to your missus and daughter. looks like all of the, well, apart from Bayern Munich, all of the Champions League matches are back underway. Go through them quickly. Slovan Bratislava 2, AC Milan 3. That was a final result from earlier on. Sparta Prague 0, Atletico Madrid 6. That was a final from earlier. Currently, Barcelona 1, Brest 0. Bayer Leverkusen 3, Salzburg 0. Bayern Munich 1, PSG 0. Inter 1, RB Leipzig 0. Man City 1, Feyenoord 0. Sporting 1, Arsenal 3. Young Boys 1, Atalanta 4. And up in Scotland, it's now Hibs 1, Aberdeen 1. It's Watson trying to come down this left-hand side for Sunderland. He gets dispossessed though by Mollenby. And West Brom back in possession. Still get the feeling Watson's going to put one in for Sunderland from the edge of the penalty area. Quick shout out as well tonight. We've got 3 stream supporters. We've got jalexpetproducts.co.uk, promo code Jimmy James, and get a 5% discount off all online orders. West Brom trying to come down the left-hand side here now. Number 19. I don't know who that is. It's pulled back from the byline. It didn't go out of play. And it was 27 Mowat who finally got a touch on it, pulled it across. But Patterson was there to clear up the mess. It's now Manchester City 2, Feyenoord 0. And Sunderland in possession on the halfway line. Yeah, so we did Jalex, didn't we? We've also got heavenlypleasures.co.uk. Use the promo code JimmyJames7, get a 7% discount off all online orders. Buy your loved one some of that sexy lingerie or a few marital aids. It's coming up to Christmas. Have a bit of fun. Grab yourself a bargain. And finally, we've got removepest.co.uk. Use the promo code JimmyJames10. Get a 10% discount off all online orders. If you've got rodents coming in at this time of year, which they like to do, or you've got problems in your garden, get over to Remove Pests. And also, if you're stuck to what you actually need to remove a certain pest or you're unsure, send Sean an email or even give him a call. All the details, by the way, are in the description of this live stream. Corner comes in from the right-hand side there for Sunderland. Looked like there was a bit of holding going on. It was from Sunderland, though. The referee's blown his whistle. And they're not happy. They don't agree. I think it was Rig. Isn't it Rig? Nah. Trying to see which player it was. Was it number... Might have been Hume. Or actually, it was Ballard. Apologies. I couldn't see his number and I didn't know the player. He's a big old unit as well. Yeah, if you don't know what you need, give Sean a call and he will sort you out. All 3 of the businesses for his, which is why we get the discounts that we do. And yeah, if you look in the description of this live stream, all the links are there to the websites and all the promo codes are there to remind you of what you can use on checkout. So yeah, grab yourself a bargain before Christmas. Also, if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button, ping that notification bell, and if you can give us a thumbs up, that'd be fantastic. I'm still not getting... There's been a penalty missed by Huddersfield, so it remains Leyton Orient 0, Huddersfield 1. Let's have a look and see how Plymouth Argyle are doing. It is still 69 minutes gone there. Norwich 3, Plymouth Argyle 1. Big game tomorrow night, isn't there? It's, is it Real Madrid and Liverpool? I know Vinicius Jr. is supposed to be out, isn't he, with a hamstring pull? Do you believe that? Edge of the box there, Sunderland. Shot comes in, deflected. At the back post, he gets flattened. Oh my word, Watson got flattened. He was at the back post. I thought he was going to head it in. And Palmer came across, took him out. He's not appealed for a penalty. He was onside. He was onside. It was the spin of the ball that took it away from him. His eyes would have lit up there, ready to put his head on it into the... And it was just a collision as much as anything, so it wasn't a penalty. But Watson's going to take this free kick, this corner, sorry, from the left-hand side. Bellingham's in the middle waiting. He's taking it short. Now Watson's there. He plays it to the edge of the penalty area. It's chipped into the box. Too much on it though, straight into the keeper's arms. Danger's gone. Now West Brom, they've been doing this all night, looking to break quickly on Sunderland. Sunderland getting numbers back. They're well aware of what West Brom are trying to do there. And they've slowed it down. Nice ball down that left-hand channel there, though, to number 19. That must be a substitute, because I've not got him. Who is number 19? Dobbin. He certainly doesn't move like Dobbin. He looks pretty lively on his feet. And it's West Brom still in possession on the halfway line, inviting Sunderland to put the pressure on. Played through there in the midfield, took a few players out of the game there, and Mowat spreads it over to his right-hand side. And that's with Haggam. West Brom look comfortable on the ball here. Still Hibernian 1, Aberdeen 1. West Brom going towards the corner flag down the right-hand side. Blind alley there, really. Done well to retain it. It's back on the halfway line, but they're in possession still. On this right-hand wing, West Brom again driving towards the penalty area, getting to the byline. Cross comes in, double deflection. That'll be a goal kick. Well, indeed. Barnsley have got an equaliser against Reading. It's Barnsley 2, Reading 2. Maybe need to turn up the... Pump up the volume, pump up the volume. And try and get the alerts on. There's no games being played right now, I don't know what it is. Sunderland trying to come down the right-hand side now. Roberts, edge of the box, puts a shot in. It's blocked. Lucky deflection, recycle well. It's in. It was put across the 6-yard box and it's been ruled out. Why has that been ruled out? As it can only be offside because I can't see there being a foul there. Isidore thought he'd put, as did I. So that ball's played down the right. He's, oh my word, that's close. His head's probably, actually, what a good shout by the linesman on that far side, or the assistant referee. Is marginally offside. It's the left foot with the nod of a head. And the linesman or assistant referee there, he's possibly Made a great decision there because it's literally an inch in it either way. VAR would have still been drawing in the lines, that's for sure, and you couldn't say for certain which way it would have gone. But assistant referee on that far side looks a bit of a bruiser anyway, so I don't think anyone's going to go having a pop at him. He looked like he'd eat you. Lovely goal that would have been by Sunderland as well. Yeah, it would have been Isidore poaching like Ian Rush would have done in the old days for, older days for Liverpool. That's got the home fans up for it. They were getting a little bit jittery, a little bit flat. Bellingham's bringing it forward now. He's got Watson on this left-hand side. Watson cuts back, gives it to Bellingham. It's back to Neil. Ross comes in, too much on it, and that just go behind it aimlessly, harmlessly I should say, not aimlessly, but harmlessly, and it'll be a goal kick to West Brom. Had a cracking tea. I've normally been nibbling on some KP nuts now, but not say I'm still full. Pork chops, mashed potatoes, broccoli, carrots. Yeah, I'm still trying to find where my come on. There's got to be down there somewhere a button. A button to hit. Cross comes in again from the right hand side there from Sunderland. It's been put behind for a corner down this left hand side. Watson's just kind of drifting in off the radar. Once again they were looking for him. And number 31 Fellows did some good defending there for West Brom. He was aware of the room that Watson had shot from the edge of the box from number 11. Who's that? Rigg. Caught it well, but got underneath it. Over the crossbar. 61.5 minutes gone. Still Sunderland 0, West Brom 0. Up in Scotland, it's still Hibernian 1, Aberdeen 1. And I'm still looking for it must be under settings. Well, also, when this is over, we'll run through quickly what's going on Sky Sports News as well. I want to start doing the daily sports news update when we do the horse racing results after tea, but I was a push for time today. So once again, we just did the horse racing. 73 minutes gone. Hibernian 1, Aberdeen 1. There's a penalty for Arsenal, currently leading Sporting by 3-1. And Bayer Leverkusen have just scored against Salzburg. It's Leverkusen 4, Salzburg 0. Playing it around at the back, West Brom taking chances. And poor clearance there has put them under a little bit of pressure. And it's Sunderland just in their own half, trying to build something from the back now. Down that right-hand side, cross comes in. Well cleared again by Fellows. He's having a good game, Fellows. I'm not surprised on the player ratings. He's currently highest rated on 7.2. Shot comes from Bellingham about 25 yards out. Got underneath it. Over the crossbar it goes. That'll be a goal kick to West Brom. And now Sunderland fans are not happy because Palmer in West Brom's goal has moved to the right-hand side to retrieve the ball. The referee's having a word with him because the ball boy had a ball ready behind the goal. Just trying to waste a few minutes there. Trying to frustrate Sunderland. It's certainly frustrating the fans. Right, let's get to settings. See what we can do here. West Brom in the box down the left-hand side, twisting, turning, trying to put a cross in. Plenty of Sunderland players back. Still in possession though. Holgate out to Fellows, back to Holgate. Sunderland putting the pressure on. West Brom still in possession though. It's played down this right-hand channel. Looking for Fellows. Keeps it in well, but loses possession. Back to the keeper. Keeper clears it first time, Patterson for Sunderland. Recycling it well again, West Brom. There's been a goal down in... Is it Pittodrie, is it? Hibs are at home, sorry. Hibernian 1, Aberdeen 2. Massive goal this for Aberdeen. Massive goal. What's that score for Plymouth Argyle? Is it still... Last time I looked it was Norwich 3, Plymouth Argyle 1. It's Norwich. I thought it was Norwich 5. Plymouth Argyle 1, 82 minutes gone. Is that goal going to stand for Hibernian? It looks like it is. 77 minutes gone there. Sunderland trying to bulldoze the way through the edge of the penalty area. West Brom holding the ground, and now West Brom have won a free kick midway inside their own half, pretty central. Home fans are getting frustrated. There's a penalty for Birmingham against Exeter. Birmingham currently leading Exeter by 1-0. Possibly going to double it there. Oh, they've taken him off. They've taken Watson off. I don't know why. He looked to me like he had a goal in him from the edge of the penalty area. O'Neill and Watson have gone off. Elise and Mayenda have come on for Sunderland. Birmingham did score that penalty, so it is Exeter City 0, Birmingham City 2. Not a good night for Exeter, although they'll take heart from Plymouth currently getting thumped by 6-1. Oh, my word. This will not go down well at home park. You can feel the natives will be getting restless down in Plymouth. Championship currently Burnley 2, Coventry 0, Hull 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2, Norwich 6, like I said, Plymouth Argyle 1, Sheffield United 3, Oxford United 0, Stoke 0, Preston 0, Watford 1, Bristol City 0, Sunderland 0, West Brom 0, as we can see. 69 minutes gone in that one. We kicked off 15 minutes later, an 8 o'clock kick-off. Sunderland coming in down the left-hand side. Loose touch there from Sunderland, though. Won back well, though. West Brom caused their own downfall here. Oh, my word. And they've kept that out. West Brom were trying to shield that ball out. They got dispossessed. It got pulled back to Rigg. Rigg put a shot. I thought it was just going to nestle in the back of the net. And a sliding block came in from... Who was that with the block? I'm going to say it could have been Mowat, I'm not sure. But a fantastic block. That literally saved a goal there for West Brom. And it was all their own doing, not wanting to give away a corner down the left-hand side, trying to shepherd it out to play in the penalty area. Lost the ball. Ooh, almost in again there. Almost fed Isidore right through the middle, one-on-one with the keeper. It just got deflected. Sunderland piling the pressure on now, but that's going to be a free kick. Midway inside West Brom's half, slightly down the left-hand side. They'll take the time over this. Get some air in the lungs. Yeah, that's got ugly quickly, hasn't it, for Wayne Rooney's Plymouth Argyle. It's currently Atalanta 5, away at Young Boys 1. Manchester City 3, Feyenoord 0. Leverkusen thumping Salzburg 4-0. Long ball into the penalty area, looking for Isidore. No problem for Palmer though. He just comes and picks that out of the air. West Brom on the attack now, down this right-hand side. It was Grant. It's going to be a corner to West Brom down the right-hand side. It was Ballard who got back with the block. And chance here for West Brom if they can put a decent cross in. Zonal marking from Sunderland. It's been taken short. Fellows gets to the byline, puts the cross in. Blocked again by number 10. Don't know who that is for Sunderland. It must be a substitute. So they'll get another corner down the right-hand side, will West Brom. It's been going. It's not been end-to-end this game. It's been more like one team's had a spell where they've got the pressure on. Then the other team's had a spell where they've got the pressure on. Taking it short again, edge of the box, chipped into the penalty area, headed clear by Sunderland, and they can bring it away. They're looking to break now. Ball down the right for Bellingham to run onto. He's going to have to check up though. Not quite enough pace on the ball as he got to it. Holds it up well though, and Sunderland on the halfway line looking to build. Rigg plays it out on that right-hand side. Cross comes in from Sunderland. Shot comes in. My word, it's just slid past the keeper's right-hand post. It was Roberts. The cross came into him. He put his foot out to it and tried to guide it. The cross came in from the right. He put his left foot out as it came across, trying to guide it to the keeper's right. And it literally, as he opened his body up there, it just it went through the defender's legs. Keeper was beat, and it's gone a foot past the keeper's right-hand post. Keeper's got his arms in the air as though to say, yep, it's going wide. No chance, you just weren't getting there. If that had been a foot further to the left, that would have been in, and the keeper would have been nowhere near it. He wouldn't have even dived, I don't think. Sunderland are knocking on the door now. They've had 2 good chances in the last 10 minutes. There was that block shot from Rigg on about 14 yards. Referee's just having a word with Holgate and Bellingham, just telling them both calm it down. West Brom battling hard, trying to win that ball back. They can't do it though. And it's Ballard. Plays it out to that right-hand side. Cambridge have just got an equaliser against Bolton on 90 minutes. It's Cambridge United 1, Bolton Wanderers 1. That'll be another corner down that right-hand side for Sunderland. Up in Scotland, it's still Hibs 1, Aberdeen 2. It's an in-swinging corner. One in the air by, oh my word, one in the air by Metham, and Isidore at the back post coming in, just couldn't get his head on it. It was headed back across the 6-yard box, and he just couldn't stretch his neck muscles quite high enough, Isidore. I think he was onside as well. So that's another, not a half chance because he wasn't quite tall enough, but Sunderland are definitely knocking on the door now. Feyenoord have pulled one back against Manchester City. Currently Manchester City 3, Feyenoord 1, 75 minutes gone there. At the Empty-Had, as it's now being called, according to Empire Maker. Apparently it's not a full house tonight. We're going to start getting a lot more like this though. Price of seats are so expensive. Times are getting hard. West Brom have got a throw about 14 yards out down the left hand side in Sunderland's half. They're going to make a change, Sunderland. West Brom. Cole's going to be coming on. It's another throw to West Brom. This time it's about 8 yards out. Still in possession, West Brom, but they've had to go back to the halfway line almost. Isidore's trying to put the pressure on. He's on his own though, so he's played around easily. 88 minutes gone, still Hibernian 1, Aberdeen 2. Long ball down that left-hand channel. Too much on it though, it's just going to run behind for a goal kick to Sunderland. Before we get right into the end of this, I'm going to have to go for a quick pee break. So I'll be back in the shake of a lamb's tail, although we'll just watch this because Sunderland, coming down that left-hand side, lost possession. Still in possession down this left-hand side. No, they've gone backwards. And Ballard's played it over to the right-hand side. On that note, I've got to go for a piddle. I'll be back in a second. That's better. Teeth are underwater. It's a bit better. $80, 30 seconds gone. Still 0-0. Nothing Scotland, it's still Hibernian 1. Aberdeen 2. 2 minutes into added on time there. Oh, and just as I've said that, what's gone and happened? And I always say this. Hibs have just equalised 2 minutes into added on time. They were winning 1-0 at half time. Only 1 in 17 games statistically will the team who's winning at half time lose the match. And it looks like that stat has come back to bite Aberdeen in the ass. Arsenal have just scored against Sporting. It's now Sporting 1, Arsenal 5. That goal's going to hurt Aberdeen. That's going to really hurt Aberdeen. Sunderland coming down the right-hand side. Blimey, that's changed quickly as well. League 2, Walsall 2, Bromley 2. Walsall just equalising there. That'll be well into added on time. Has it got any worse for Wayne Rooney? No, that's a full time now. Norwich 6, Plymouth Argyle 1. The knives will be out. Well, this could be interesting. Over at the Etihad, Manchester City 3, Feyenoord 2. Still 8 minutes plus stoppage time to go there. Comeback could be on the cards. Pep Guardiola won't be happy with that if they do manage to throw away a lead like they had. Sunderland down this left-hand side. Give it away there, though. Chance for West Brom to break. They're not throwing as many men forward as quickly as they were doing now, though. I suppose with 7 minutes plus added on time to go. Chance. Oh, my word. It's cleared off the line by Ballard. It came from nowhere, that. Shot from the left-hand side. Beat the keeper. Ballard was on the line. Stuck his leg out. Just I'm saying, West Brom weren't piling men forward. They didn't need to there. We just watched this this chance again. It was pulled from across from the right hand side. It was going wide anyway, and the shot came in from the penalty area, side footed. It looked like it was on target first of all, and then Ballard, not to know though, stuck his foot out. Should have let it go. It would have been a goal kick. That was Charlie James. Do you want to give him a call? I've tried phoning him earlier, but I sorted the problem. Sunderland now from the left-hand side. Cross comes in. It's blocked though. That was Fellows with a good block. Now it's played central. Sunderland still in now in the penalty area. Cross comes in from the left-hand side. Appeal for a handball by the crowd mainly, not by the players. It's cleared and Ballard does well at the back and gets it back to Patterson in goal. Sunderland will come again. Then this left-hand side, trying to get to the byline. Fellows comes across though, can't keep it in, and it'll be a corner to Sunderland. I don't believe it. Aberdeen have only gone and scored. They've broke the 17-1 curse, have they? Hibernian 2, Aberdeen 3. I knew it was going to be a good game, this. If I could have got my stream sorted earlier, I would have loved to have watched that. Although this, in fairness, it's 0-0. But Sunderland West Brom's not been without incident. We just haven't had the goals. Corner comes in. Ballard wins a header, but it's can't get any power on it, and it's cleared by West Brom. West Brom looking to break now on Sunderland. Rigg wins it back well there for Sunderland. Both teams are looking like two boxers now in the 12th round, I've got to say. The crowd are trying to drive Sunderland forward. West Brom have got a bank of 5 and a bank of 4, trying to keep the red and white stripes out. A chance here now for West Brom to break. If they can keep hold of the ball, they can. Over the half. Oh, you're about a yard offside. You should have held your run. Now it's balls with the keeper. The assistant ref puts his flag up on this near side. Oh my word! I can't believe that. It's now Hibernian 3. Aberdeen 3. What's going on up in Scotland? The curse of 17-1 maybe hasn't been broke. Surely it's 7 minutes into added on time. What is going on there? What is going on? That'll be another corner down the right hand side for Sunderland. Cannot believe Aberdeen. What is happening? Losing 1-0. They come back to take a 2-1 lead. Then it's 2-all. In added on time. Then they take a 3-2 lead in added on time. And now, 8 minutes into added on time, it's 3-all. If you're an Aberdeen fan, if you've got a pacemaker, make sure it's fully charged because you'll need it. Cross comes in from the right from Sunderland. It's won in the air by Ballard. He can't get any power on it though. Straight to the keeper Palmer, who drops to the floor. 3 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Can't believe what... and it has ended. Hibernian 3, Aberdeen 3. Oh, if only we could have got the stream going. I keep saying it, but... I really wanted to do that match tonight. Not to worry. Anyway, we stick with what we've got, which is Sunderland 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. Chance here for West Brom. Oh, it's a loose pass though. It was a lazy pass as well. There was every chance there to set Mollenby away. It was Grant who played the pass too straight. Easy sat in an armchair, isn't it? But you'd be disappointed with that. I don't know what they're talking about. It's not been a bad game, this. Sunderland and West Brom. Into the penalty area there. Sunderland. Roberts. That's going to be a... Oh, they couldn't tell who that came off. They do it every game. So they'd now give it as a goal kick. I wonder at what stage they will ever start giving the away... the attacking side the benefit of the doubt. Grant's coming off for West Brom. Had a decent enough game. Disappointed with that pass, he just couldn't quite get away. And Devante Cole is coming on. But apart from that, decent night's work. It's all quiet in the chat now. Empire Maker's gone. Oh my word. It's all gone wrong for Manchester City at the minute. It's now Manchester City 3, Feyenoord 3. Pep Guardiola would have been tearing his hair out if he had any. He'll maybe be starting on his pubes now. He's going to have to pull something out because Manchester City 3, Feyenoord 3. It's all going Pete Tong up at the Etihad. Cross comes in there from West Brom. Edge of the box. Just slightly too high, and West Brom were caught offside. 3 minutes of added on time to be played with just 30 seconds into it. A few of the Sunderland faithful deciding to get towards the exit now. Another goal for Atalanta against Young Boys. It's Young Boys 1, Atalanta 6. We'll go through all the full-time scores once this game's finished. We've also got at the end of the Football Focus, we'll go through today's sports news as well. Hoping to do that in the early evening show where we bring all the horse racing results from around the UK and Ireland. We're a little bit behind on time today, so we'll do it at the end of this. Barcelona have just scored 3 minutes into added on time there. It's currently Barcelona 3, Brest 0. Loose pass there from Sunderland. That'll roll through to Palmer. Palmer lets it go behind. He'll be happy to waste a few more seconds and take the goal kick. 90 seconds to go. Still Sunderland 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. Hegem been given the player of the match. I'm going to have to watch the highlights of Hibs against Aberdeen. I know I keep going on about it, but that must have been some game. Ooh, that looked like it could have been a free kick there to Sunderland. Not given. Referee says you tripped on the ball, I think. So 40 seconds to go. West Brom trying to come down the left-hand side here now. Chance to put a cross in. Not taken. The ball's held up. It's played back. They're reluctant to lump this ball into the box. No, it still doesn't come into the box. They've got numbers in there. West Brom, like 18 seconds to go. Put it in the box. Now the cross comes into the box. It's a low one though, and Ballard clears that easily. Referee's going to blow his whistle any second now. He's not really running after play. He's getting ready to get that P moving in his whistle. We've gone over the 3 minutes now allotted. There we go. Boos ring out from around the stadium. 0-0. I wish we'd have done the Hibs and Aberdeen. I'm going to stop going on about it now. What a game that would have been. I think my voice would have been worn out by now though. Let's get over to I better move that. We need to go. I'm going to go through all of the full-time scores now, and then, like I said, we'll do the Sky Sports news. See what's been going on today. Because that'll be on at 10 o'clock. So by the time we've gone through all this news now, that'll take us a good few minutes. See how your team's gone on if they've played tonight. Manchester City were 3-0 up, and it's now Feyenoord 3-all. It was Haaland on 44 with a penalty and 53 minutes, Gundogan on 50. And then Feyenoord 75, 82, 89, bringing that all square. Let's have a quick run through tonight's scores. So in the Championship, English Championship that is, Burnley 2, Coventry 0, Hull 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2, Norwich 6, Plymouth Argyle 1, Sheffield United 3, Oxford United 0, Stoke 0, Preston 0, Watford 1, Bristol City 0, Sunderland 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. English League 1, Barnsley 2, Reading 2, Bristol Rovers 0, Blackpool 2, Burton 0, Charlton 1, Cambridge United 1, Bolton Wanderers 1, Exeter City 0, Birmingham City 2, Leyton Orient 0, Huddersfield 2, Wigan 2, Northampton Town 1, Wrexham 1, Lincoln 0, Wickham 1, Mansfield 0. English League 2, Tranmere 0, AFC Wimbledon 2, Walsall 2, Bromley 2. European Champions League phase, Slovan Bratislava 2, AC Milan 3, Sparta Prague 0, Atletico Madrid 6, Barcelona 3, Brest 0, Bayer Leverkusen 5, Salzburg 0, Bayern Munich 1, PSG 0, that's the latest score, Inter 1, RB Leipzig 0, and it has just finished, Manchester City 3, Feyenoord 3, Sporting 1, Arsenal 5, Young Boys 1, Atalanta 6. Polish Division 2, this one's finished earlier. Eskra 1, Kalij 1. Scottish Premiership, Hibernian 3, Aberdeen 3. English National League, Altrincham 3, York City 0. Braintree 1, Maidenhead 3. Dagenham and Redbridge 3, Aldershot 2. Gateshead 0, Rochdale 1. Hartlepool 2, AFC Fylde 0. Oldham 4, Boston United 0. Sutton 1, Solihull Moors 0. Woking 0, Southend 0. National League North, Alfreton 2, Stoke Shields 4, that's the latest score, 6 minutes into added on time there. Chester 3, Oxford City 1, Curzon Ashton 1, Southport 0, Darlington 0, Scunthorpe 0, Farsley 0, Chorley 1, 82 minutes gone there, and that Alfreton South Shields game has now finished. Kings Lynn 4, Kidderminster 0, Leamington 0, Needham Market 1, Marine 2, Spennymoor 2, Peterborough Sports 1, Radcliffe 1, Rushall 0, Brackley Town 1, Scarborough 0, Warrington 0. National League South, Bath 1, Salisbury 0, Chesham 2, Hampton and Richmond 1, Chippenham 0, Slough 3, Enfield Town 1, Hornchurch 2, Farnborough 1, Worthing 0, Maidstone 3, Eastbourne Borough 1, Torquay United 4, Western Supermare 2, Welling 2, Tonbridge 2, Weymouth 1, Truro 4. England NPL Premier Division, Blythe 1, Bamber 1, Micklehove 2, Macclesfield 1, Workington 2, Basford 0. Southern League Premier Central, Biggleswade Town 0, Royston 4. Southern League Premier South, Chertsey 1, Merthyr Town 2. Isteman League Premier Division, Chichester 2, Dartford 2, Cray Valley 2, Bowers and Pitsea 0, Hastings 1, Carshalton 1, Hendon 3, Whitehawk 0, Horsham FC 0, Folkestone 1, Lewes 1, Dover 3. And in the English Professional Development League, Brentford under-21s 2, Peterborough under-21s 1. And that is all she wrote for tonight's football results. If you've had a flutter on the coupon, or you've got one of your parlays going, hopefully it's been successful for you. If you've had a bet on the horses, go over to our video section. You can get all today's racing results from, I think it was Sedgefield, Southall and Tremor over in Ireland. When I done it a few hours ago as well. I'm trying to think where the racing was from today. I'm just going to hang around. I just want to give you the news headlines from Sky Sports, because we're going to try and put that one in the tea time or early evening show with the horse racing results, you know, just to break down quickly of what's been going on in the news. Didn't have time to do it today. Apologies, because I did say we were going to do Hibernian and Aberdeen, and I couldn't get the stream to... it was a little bit intermittent earlier on. It's been perfect since. I've been watching it over here, so we could have done that game, but you've got to make a cut-off at some point, which is why we ended up doing Sunderland and West Brom, and you know, it finished 0-0. That drops Sunderland out of the top two now. Burnley have moved into second place on 33 points. Just looking at, I was talking about this with Empire Maker in the Manchester United spent 8.6 million in the third quarter on restructuring costs. After, yeah, they had to lay off 250 staff. Man United confident they remain compliant with Premier League rules on profits and what have you. Man United's Andre Onana wins FIFA Pro Impact Award. England and Real Madrid midfielder Jude Bellingham admits he felt mistreated and like a scapegoat after Euro 2024. Oh, bless. Bellingham was clarifying comments from a recent post on social media about playing for England ahead of Real Madrid's trip to Liverpool. Bellingham received criticism for some performances at the Euro 2024 after England lost 2-1 to Spain in the final. All after 3. 1, 2, 3. I lost my smile. I can't even be bothered. It felt like I was a little bit mistreated in comparison to what I contributed at the Euros 2024. Bellingham said some of it was a bit harsh on me. I think I felt like a scapegoat and was feeling a bit sorry for myself. Well, fair play for saying that, because it certainly sounds like it. I contributed some pretty big moments and I felt like the whole world was crumbling down on me. Yeah, it wasn't a nice feeling. Tell you what's not a nice feeling, mate, not being able to pay your bills or losing your job. That's something to mourn about, not feeling a little bit down in the mouth. Bellingham says the smile is back. Just waiting for some news to come around, but we're still on Gillette Soccer Special. Gareth Southgate posts on LinkedIn that he may not continue as a football coach following his 8 years in charge of England. Well, that'll be a shame as long as he keeps away from Wisła Kraków and Manchester United. I'm consciously taking my time to reflect. Perhaps the hardest thing to replicate is going to be the sense of purpose. I had a responsibility to improve English football. Well, you didn't really do it, mate. I was representing hopes and dreams of 50 million people. I had a duty to be an ambassador for my country. You were a good ambassador. But you just didn't get the players playing on the pitch in an attacking way when we had all that attacking talent. Even in the most difficult moments, I was actually aware of the need to stand with dignity and demonstrate strong leadership. Higher purpose kept me on track, gave me structure, made my life more fulfilling. It'll be extremely difficult to replicate. The FA releases its newest equality, diversity and inclusion strategy aimed to boost representation, push inclusion and tackle discrimination. Black Footballers Partnership, the BFP, criticises strategy and says FA has to be judged by deeds, not words. Highlights the falling number of black managers in top tiers and the FA now having no black executives. FA's record suggests we will have a lot of photo opportunity statements and even matches, but there have been little intangible evidence. I'm waiting to see an interview with Pep Guardiola after City gave up a 3-0 lead to Feyenoord. We've got all the... We're not going to get Sky News now, are we? So let's have a quick look. Let's have a quick look on the news on the website, see what's going on. Yeah, there's definitely going to be rumblings down at Home Park. Because losing 6-0, whether it's away or not, Plymouth losing at Norwich. They've not been playing well this season, even though they've got a couple of results. You know, they've had a couple of decent comebacks where they've scored in injury time to gain a point. And AC Milan battle past bottom of the table Slovan Bratislava to secure a third straight win. Diego Simeone thrilled to see Atletico Madrid put 6 past Sparta Prague. And Julian Alvarez bags a brace to help Atletico Madrid hit Sparta Prague for 6. What's the news for tomorrow? Real coach Ancelotti sees injuries to key players an opportunity for the squad to grow. Nuri Sahin warns Borussia Dortmund that Dinamo Zagreb pose a real threat. And Arne Slot certain Mo Salah contract comments will not pose an issue for Liverpool. Yeah, I saw that earlier on. Mo Salah was talking on, he put a comment out saying that he's not had any contract negotiations with Liverpool so far, and his contract, I think it runs out at the end of this season. He basically said it's disappointing. If he's not ready to retire, if they don't want him, basically he'll go somewhere else. And someone will grab a bargain. I wouldn't mind having him at Old Trafford for a season or two, or maybe he'll go to Wisła Kraków. Thiago Motta wants Juventus to build on AC Milan draw ahead of the Aston Villa trip. Brendan Rodgers believes Dortmund thrashing inspired Celtic's Champions League fight back. Javier Mascherano confirmed as new head coach of Inter Miami to reunite with Lionel Messi. And Ronaldinho and Luis Figo among a number of legends headlining a new Baller League. Not heard about that. I don't know what that is. Enzo Maresca's trust in Nicholas Jackson being rewarded with strong Chelsea form. And Ajax ban Lazio fans ahead of European clash in December following Maccabi Tel Aviv violence. Manchester United suffer revenue loss due to Champions League absence. Well, you can take that in two ways. They said they did have an operating loss, but due to the fluctuations in the FX markets, i.e. the stronger pound against the dollar, they actually made a profit. So whether that's somebody, what's the old saying, there's the truth and then the statistics, something like that. Unai Emery using last season's experience to help manage Villa's packed schedule. Load on players is leading factor in ACL injuries, says Ghana's team doctor. PSV coach Peter Bosch says strikers De Jong and Lang could be set to miss the Shakhtar clash. And Saeem Ayub scores scintillating century as Pakistan level the series with Zimbabwe. Temba Bavuma admits South Africa's next two test series are like cup finals. Phil Taylor heaps praise on Luke Littler ahead of World Championships. 6 men go on trial as Paul Pogba blackmail case set to begin in Paris. They get mixed up in this stuff. Team of the week: Thuram and Bastoni star for Inter as Kane nets another Bayern hat-trick. Kylian Mbappe ready to take up the mantle for Real Madrid's clash with Liverpool. Al Ahil's Ivan Toney looking to build momentum after Asian Championship League double. Liverpool looking at the best despite uncertainty over the future of several players. Italy Davis Cup hero Yannick Sinner heartbroken as he awaits doping appeal outcome. And that's pretty much all she wrote for today. So on that note, we've got 3 stream supporters for tonight: jalexpetproducts.co.uk, heavenlypleasures.co.uk and removepests.co.uk. All the links are in the description of this live stream. Also, you can find in the promo codes that you can use to get your discount. So grab yourselves a bargain before Christmas arrives. On that note, I will say please hit that subscribe button, ping that notifications bell and give us a thumbs up if you can. YouTube love that. I'll be back tomorrow with more football. I think we're probably going to do Liverpool Real Madrid. We can't really miss that one, can we? And we'll have all the goals as they go in from around Europe. And that's all for tonight. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great one. Sleep well.